Hello and welcome back to Two Blokes from Blighty. Before we get into today's episode, we're going to hear from our friends at Chatsunami. Take it away, Satsu.
Welcome to Chatsunami, a variety podcast that discusses topics from gaming and films to anime and general interests.
Previously on Chatsunami, we've analysed what makes a good horror game, conducted a retrospective on Pierce Brosnan's run as James Bond, and listened to us take deep dives into both the Sonic and Halo franchises.
Also, if you're an anime fan, then don't forget to check us out on our sub-series, Chatsunani, where we dive into the world of anime. So far, we've reviewed things like Death Note, Princess Mononoke, and the hit Beyblade series.
If that sounds like your cup of tea, then you can check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and all good podcast apps.
As always, stay safe,
Stay awesome, and most importantly,
Stay hydrated.
You should check out Chatsunami on all good podcast providers. Tim, right now, at time of recording, their latest episode is a Mario Month one. And they're talking about the animated Super Mario Brothers that we went on Talking Smack to talk about. You should check out Talking Smack as well. But what I wanted to flag to you, Tim, Satsu said that it was better than the Bob Hoskins Mario movie.
How fucking dare you, Sats?
Listen to Chatsunami. Guess who's back? Back again. Tim is back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 No. Welcome back to Two Blokes from Blighty. That's the first you'll hear of it. Stick around for the end where you find out I forgot those words. I'm one of your hosts, Joey Fitz, and I'm joined by my globe-trotting brother, Timothy San. How are you?
Onegaishimasu, arigato gozaimasu. That was please and thank you.
That was shut the fuck up in Japanese.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Tim, we are recording this later than we normally do. We're on a Sunday evening.
Yeah.
We're going to get through a topic which I'm sure our listeners are really looking forward to hearing, and that is your once-in-a-lifetime adventure into the deepest, darkest Japan. But,
yeah,
Tim, before we get into this, we always start with the same thing, and I hope you're not so out of focus that you've forgotten it.
I got it.
Pub quiz question.
Pub quiz question of the week. Not a jingle. That's a sound effect at best.
What we have there is a fucking jingle, Tim.
Pub quiz of the week. I'm going to run through some questions with Joey until he can't get them, and then that's our question of the week. Go.
Embarrassingly short when I did this with Alex, by the way.
I know, I listened. It was like one or two.
Yeah, I think it was the first one, but he was very kind to me.
very much pushing you in the direction of the answer.
Hi, Alex. Come on, Two Blokes from Blighty and meet the village idiot.
Question 1. Which Shakespearean play features the most famous quote, "to be or not to be"? That is the question.
Macbeth.
It is not Macbeth.
Shit, I said that with such conviction.
There was
Hamlet.
So confidently incorrect. It is Hamlet.
Okay, I knew it was one of them. I knew it was one of the Shakespeare plays.
What is the title of the first Harry Potter book? I'd like the American and the English title.
The Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is the American. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is the English.
Correct. Who wrote the poem Paradise Lost, which tells the story of Satan and the creation of mankind?
I have no idea.
No idea? That's our question?
Is it...
Do you want to give you their initials?
Yeah, go on.
JM.
Is it...
Julian Mike.
Is it...
It's
Johnny Marr from The Smiths?
You're not a million miles off with that name.
God damn it. Well, I don't know. I'm not great with poems. Unless it's Benjamin Zephaniah, I'm not great with poetry.
You do like a bit of Zephaniah.
I do, and it helps that he was, because he's, dead. But it helps that he was a Villa fan.
Oh.
He did a wicked poem when Villa played West Brom, because he grew up on the border of Aston and Handsworth, and half his friends and family were West Brom, half of them were Villa. It was really good.
Ah.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Cultured and football. Who knew?
Who knew?
Well, there's our question. Who wrote that poem?
Paradise Lost.
Losing Paradise with Tim.
Yeah. Who wrote Paradise by the Dashboard Light?
Is it not Coolio?
It's not Coolio.
No. Oh. Living in a lost paradise. No?
Isn't it Gangster's Paradise?
Yeah, Tim, that was the joke.
Oh.
Right, Tim, it's been 2 weeks since you've been on an episode. We're not sure why we did two. We could have just done one, but
Could have done the one.
I was very happy to invite Alex on because Tim said two blokes from what? And then I had to ask Alex to step in. Tim, do you remember what days these episodes release?
Let me think. Oh, yeah. Wednesday.
It's been 2 weeks since we've heard the best podcasting jingle of all time.
Welcome back.
Tim and Joey talking loud. Holidays that make them proud. Calendar check every week. Which day holds the peak? Valentine's is on a pivot. Christmas Eve sometimes hits it. New Year's Eve can be found smiling on a Wednesday round. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Time to shake the mood. Celebrate whatever's there. Make the middle week a fair.
There you go. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Tim, it's been a while since you got to choose the day of the week. I've got a few for you. A couple of good ones as well. You'll be pleased to know.
Yeah?
There have been some shockingly shit ones over the last few weeks. Tim, the first one, it does not buck that trend. National 3D Day.
As in 3D movies or just appreciation of the third dimension?
The third dimension of which we live.
I love
Founded
not
in
being a line or a dot.
Founded in 2020, it is a celebration of stereoscopic photography, art, cinema, and education.
Neat. Okay.
National Backyard Day.
Nah.
Just enjoying having a garden.
Yeah.
National SBDC Day.
What is that?
Small Business Development Centres.
Well, like just things that allow smaller businesses to grow.
I don't fucking know. I've never been to one.
Oh, so it's actually like a place then.
I don't know.
Oh.
During the third Wednesday in March, National Small Business Development Centres Day recognised the thousands of SBDCs across the country, supporting entrepreneurs in the pursuit of small business ownership.
Okay. Nah, that's a little boring.
No, okay, cool. National Certified Nurses Day.
That's important.
Yeah?
That's important, yeah.
Which nurse would you prefer? Nurse Ratchet or one of the Silent Hill ones?
Who is Nurse Ratchet again?
Famous nurse team, you should know.
Nurse Ratchet.
She doesn't have a buddy called Clank.
Nurse Ratchet. Full name, Mildred Ratchet in the movie. It just says in the movie. What movie?
You know the movie.
Oh, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
You know the movie.
Yeah, the movie, the only movie. Thanks, Wikipedia, dickhead. Not that one.
So not National Certified Nurses Day just because
Wikipedia's
of nurses?
ruined that for you.
Okay, well, that's fine. Those are the ones that are good. Sorry, nurses. Not that you'll waste your time listening to this.
Yeah.
National Poultry Day.
Okay.
Chickens.
Fine.
Geese.
Yeah.
Turkeys.
I've been playing Yakuza Pirates in Hawaii with Payne downstairs, and one that you can recruit animals to your island, and one of them is a rooster called an alarm clock.
Very good. I like that.
Tickled me quite a lot, that one.
So the description, we don't normally go into the description of these days, but tell me how this is a celebration of Poultry Day. So I would think,
Kill them and eat them.
well, wait for it. Poultry Day would be, pat a chicken on the head until it's done a good job.
Yeah.
Actually, it says kick the day off right with eggs and turkey bacon for breakfast. Around lunchtime, an open-faced turkey avocado sandwich, and then finish the day off with some good old fried chicken dinner. Fuck these birds.
I've never seen a day celebrating an animal that revolves entirely around eating the animal.
No.
I hate Dog Day.
Yeah, let's not delve into that anymore. So, Tim, next one is National Chocolate Caramel Day.
I like chocolate caramel, but like it depends. Like if it can get really, really sickly, I think.
Would you ever choose a dairy milk caramel?
Yeah, if there was like a tub of celebrations, I think. Is it celebrations then or is it heroes?
Yeah, celebrations, but no, just like on the shelves.
If every other option's available, probably not.
Okay, cool. And then the last
I'm much
one.
more of a Poppets guy.
Last one is National Let's Laugh Day.
Oh, that one.
And how are they going to celebrate? Just listen to this podcast. Easy peasy.
point and laugh at the small hairy man. That is me.
Oh, very good. Right, Tim, the small hairy man that is Tim.
Hello.
We are celebrating Let's Laugh Day. Tim, what's the last thing that made you laugh till you cried?
Again, it was playing Yakuza Pirate in Hawaii. There is a mini game in there called Super Crazy Delivery, and it revolves around you going around Hawaii on a bike delivering burgers and pizzas and sushi. But it might be the most overwhelming thing I think I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's like lights and shapes and sounds, and there's a man yelling at you in very broken English while you do it, and you can also just be hit by cars on people breathing fire. It's just everything all at once.
Nice. Mine was playing Repo on Thursday night.
Wow, it's fun.
I cried laughing more than once. The best point. So, for those of you who don't have the time to tune into our streams or didn't know that we stream every Thursday and some Mondays and Saturdays at twitch.tv/GameClubPod. Repo is a game where you and up to 6 friends owe the taxman $1 million. So you need to break into places and steal things to the value of X amount to get out of that building. But the game is unhinged, and there was a point where we were playing and one of our party picked up an hourglass that slowed down time. None of us knew it was going to happen, and we're all moving at normal speed. His eyes dilate like there's no tomorrow. It looks like he's got dustbin lids for eyes, and he's trying to talk normally, and it's coming out like...
Where's the cart?
It was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. I'd like to play it again for stream.
Oh, totally.
Right, Tim, let's talk about your holiday.
Oh, yeah. This is, to be honest, gang, this is probably going to be the bulk of the episode.
So if you hate Japan and Japanese people, you can just skip to the end.
If you hate me, why are you here?
Well, they could be here for me, Tim.
That's true.
They're not.
Bambo show. So I was showing Joey. I took time to write down everything we did.
Tim went on this holiday so he could make content for the podcast.
This is all content. We should probably be writing it off as tags, to be honest.
Yeah.
So day 0, which I'm marking as day travel, because we were out there for 12 days.
Day 0 sounds like the start of the infection.
Funny you say that. I was sick for the travel.
Oh yeah, you had COVID, didn't you?
I didn't have COVID. I was just sick, but I was hopped up on medicine the whole time. I've written here. Do you know what I'm going to do? Actually, I'm going to make this a lot easier on myself instead of sharing individual files, because there aren't going to be pictures for this. There you go. I'm going to share my screen, and I'll just go into the individual photos and videos as needed.
Okay.
Cool. And by the way, audience, if you want to see any of these photos, just let me know what photo you're interested in. I'll pop in the Discord.
I really thought you were going to say, audience, if you want to see these photos, tough. They're mine.
No, they're mine. Get your own.
Fuck off.
Follow me on Instagram and you'll see them there. Yeah, I was sick for the travel. We end up booking this lounge at Heathrow Airport because it's a bit of an occasion, and airport lounges are nice. And we're walking over to the airport gate, and we hear this guy and his partner tell the staff at the Air China desk, because that's who we flew with, Air China. We hear this guy and his partner tell his staff that his partner has a life-threatening nut allergy as they're getting on the plane. Cool. Always solid start.
Is that when you whipped out the peanuts?
I got my trail mix out and just started handing them around.
They're going to deprive you of this on the plane.
But this plane, I think I've said this to you, Joey, when we met up a weekend or two ago. The journey out to Japan was not especially smooth mostly on the flights. No delays, but this first flight was a bit heavy in that they had no control of the temperature on the plane for the entire journey.
You haven't told me that at all.
So it was
awful.
It was absolutely baking for 10 hours.
Oh, God. Okay, cool.
So drinks were not, when you get on a plane, you ask for drinks. They normally give you like a little can or a little bottle or whatever.
They just give you a hose.
Not quite. They just had big 2-liter bottles of everything that they would just pour out of. So by the time it got to you, if you were in the packet, either all gone or gone flat.
It's like that awful film that we watched where they lower the food throughout the prison.
Yeah, kind of like that. It's kind of like the platform,
the platform.
but with less murder.
Where were you sat?
We were like halfway up.
Okay,
we had good seats.
Okay, so you lived through the...
I survived.
Okay, good.
Poor
Glad to hear.
people at the back though.
All of them
Payne
dead.
at one point, Payne at one point asked for a glass of wine, and the staff was just like, "Oh, it's on the other trolley." Thinking, when we were thinking, "Oh, they're gonna go get it." Nah, it's just on the other trolley. Just didn't happen.
It's on the other trolley, and we're not bringing that one round today.
No, balls to that. Then a couple ahead of us said when they were bringing out the dinner that they couldn't have either of the food options, which was chicken or beef, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the flight attendant went, "Well, you should have told us this before you booked." So when you were booking, because we have no record of any allergies or dietary requirements for any of our passengers on board today. They then claimed that they called to say, "Hey, we can't have this." And the staff tried their best to just kind of cobble a meal together for them. And once they've like Frankenstein this airline food together for them, they were like, "Oh no, it's fine. We'll have the chicken." It's like, bruh, why?
So did they get chicken that was severely salivated up?
Yeah, bit of a shoe print in there as well.
Yum yum.
Now, Payne and I got to watch two halves of a movie each.
Was it the same half?
No, we picked different movies. The reason being is that the in-flight entertainment restarted, but a decent way into the journey. I was halfway through watching Barbie because I was like, I feel like watching Barbie. It's a fun movie.
Were you singing along?
I was, much to the other passengers' annoyance.
Good. Okay.
So I was like, I can't be bothered to rewatch Barbie again from the beginning because you couldn't fast forward on this in-flight entertainment.
Okay.
So I just picked something else to watch. But Payne, I couldn't resume any of her movies because anytime she tried to play a movie, it played an album called China as One on loop.
So Bane had a funny shit flight, is what you're saying.
It was amazing. So keep in mind...
how long into the flight are you?
Maybe an hour and a half.
Okay, so you're an hour and a half in. Payne has listened to, what was the album called? There Is One China.
China as One.
China as One. 12 times already. She's been denied alcohol, so she's naturally grumpy as a Geordie.
Baking and had sleep deprived.
And she also is gloating at the chicken that she's eating before the vegetarian. The vegetarian with no morals is what I should say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I tried watching Godzilla vs. Kong, but every single film on this flight and every TV program had hard-coded Chinese subtitles. So this isn't for me to go like, every film should be in English, but I would appreciate some English subtitles sometimes, especially when the sign language characters are communicating with each other. I have no idea what they're saying. Or when the German characters are communicating with each other, I have no idea what they're saying.
You know,
but the other thing...
Sorry, Tim, really quickly deviation. You know The Boys, and there's the character who was mute.
Yeah.
And she had her own episode where it was all subtitled. I watched this on a stream that was legal.
Mm-hmm.
I should clarify that, Mr. FBI. Totally legal, but if you were to search the website I found it on, it might flag up as naughty because other reasons. Like, I don't know what they are. I don't own the website.
We don't know, yeah.
But I must stress that it was legal.
Very legal.
Because so the subtitles for that episode were localized to wherever you were watching it. The copy I had no subtitles. And I watched the entire episode thinking, they've really done something artsy with this one. I have no idea what's going on. Sorry, carry on, Tim.
Anytime you selected an album, or as Payne's choice was, anytime the album looped, or anytime you watched a film or a TV show, you had to watch 5 minutes of adverts that were talking about how great China was.
Okay.
But I get that the Air China is obviously going to have a natural bias towards China, in the same way that British Airways is going to be like, look at all this British travel you're going to do. But this one felt really intense. It was like, the China Bank welcomes your warm financial decisions, like every 5 minutes.
Did you make any warm financial decisions in China?
They were cold. We'll talk about China because China was intense.
Okay, cool.
So I got about 2 hours of sleep. I don't sleep well on planes.
Okay.
Especially when I'm baking and can't understand what anyone's saying in the films I'm watching.
Okay.
So we wake up and they're doing breakfast, and I've got, for some reason, a chicken-based breakfast. Happy Poultry Day, everyone.
So what's your chicken-based breakfast?
Oh, it was just like a chicken patty on rice or whatever it was. I think it was like a leftover dinner.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But the flight attendants going around said something, and then Payne caught the word porridge, and she was like, "Oh yeah, porridge, great." What it was congee. Have you ever heard of congee?
No, I have chicken porridge in my head though.
Congee is a beef porridge. I've got a photo of it. Not the exact one that she had, but just a photo of it. I'm going to dump it in our Discord real quick.
I can see your screen, Tim. You can just show me there.
Oh yeah, it's right there. There you go. it looks like gruel, and it has the consistency of rice pudding.
That looks yummy.
But it was it's rice pudding with mince and carrot in it. That's what congee is. That was Payne's breakfast.
The cornerstone of every delicious breakfast.
Yeah. So we landed in Beijing, and the first thing I saw in Beijing was a vending machine full of drinks that you pay for by scanning your face. This will be a...
Could you have done that?
I don't think I could.
Well, you don't have any facial recognition set up with your bank. So.
I don't have a face.
No, you don't.
No, so like this is a running thing throughout Beijing Airport, because we went through Beijing Airport both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you want to use an automated service that involves a transaction, or even just getting on the Wi-Fi, you have to scan your face to do it. And I'm personally bored with it.
Do you think, do you scan your face and then pay, or do you scan your face and it takes the money based on that?
Well, China works on a social credit system, where like they will be able to recognize you from CCTV footage and be like, this person is not allowed into certain areas or buildings or whatever.
Okay.
A bit like that episode of Black Mirror with the ratings.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And as far as I'm aware, it's actually linked to your bank information as well.
Ah.
Which is terrifying. What if I just wear a mask of someone?
Exactly. Let's all wear masks of... I don't know who I was going to say. I was going to say Nigel Farage, but I don't think I could bring myself to that.
No. So we're walking through Beijing Airport, and for being the capital of China's airport, which you'd think would be massive... by the way, Beijing just from above looks like a city just dumped in the middle of a desert. It's really bizarre. Like there's like nothing around, and then there's wind farms, and then there's just like blocks of cities. And I said this to Payne. I hate to compare it to Factorio, but it looks a bit like you're building something in Factorio.
You need to stop playing Factorio. You're seeing it everywhere.
We're wandering through Beijing Airport though, and we went through this is from both sides, so I'm jumping ahead a bit here. We only saw 4 security checkpoints in the entirety of the airport. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying 4 security checkpoints with like a number of security scanners in them. I'm talking 4 security scanners for the entirety of the airport.
Wow.
And they have long lines, and they have a manual like face scan and check your passport thing, and they'll have someone manually stamp it for you. And they search and frisk every single person that goes through those checkpoints.
Wow.
Every single one. So the lines are long. We're wandering through, and I get through just fine. And Payne got very much felt up by a female security agent going through the airport. I mentioned this before with Air China, like having a lot of the look how great China was, but Beijing had it even more. It felt like everything was very much for like the benefit of the state.
Right.
It was intense. So we were walking through security, and they have these pillars just to hold up the ceiling because it's a tall airport.
Okay.
But on this one pillar, so all at the same height, we counted 19 cameras and 3 microphones.
Wow.
It's just a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Too many,
then we got
some would say.
Yeah, too many. So we're in Beijing for 3 hours, and we got on our second flight, and Payne and I are separated on the flights for the second one. We kept fighting on the first one, so they had to do something. For the second flight, I come around, and we're in the air for maybe 10 minutes, and the guy just goes, "Sir, your Kung Pao chicken." And I was like, okay, great. And so I just get given a plate of Kung Pao chicken for my flight.
Nice.
As a result. And I was like, okay, great. Then
what horrific thing did Payne have to eat?
I think she also had Kung Pao chicken.
Okay,
Kung Pao chicken. She didn't get another congee beef porridge.
Did she have congee Pao chicken?
But then I saw the flight attendant try and shake someone awake when they weren't when their seat was like not reclined. I must have watched them for a good 20 minutes being like, excuse me, sir, and going like, like really shaking them. They woke up eventually. I was like, but the thought did pass through my mind of, are they dead?
Yeah, that's what I thought when you said, wow, okay, cool.
So we land in Tokyo.
How long's the flight between Beijing and Tokyo, sorry?
Oh, like 3 hours.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like, nothing. Tokyo, by the way, biggest city in the world.
Yeah.
That title should make it very obvious that the place is going to be very big. What it doesn't prepare you for is how it actually looks when you're landing. It is unfathomably large, that city.
It's the biggest city in the world, Tim.
I know, and that should have been really obvious from the title. But I was looking out the window going, oh my God, it's lights and cities and buildings as far as the eye could see. And then I look out the other side of the plane, I was like, oh my God, I was looking at half of it. Like,
and so, the guy sat next to you's like, dude, it's the biggest city in the world.
Yeah, it's really obvious, dude. Well, I'm there like a fucking tourist going like, oh.
With your selfie stick going, oh my God.
I hardly use that thing, by the way.
Okay.
So we arrive at our station. We get the monorail to Hamamatsucho.
What's it called?
Which is Hamamatsucho.
No, monorail.
Oh, monorail? What's that name? Monorail.
I heard,
softly as a cloud.
Well, I heard those things are awfully loud.
It glides as softly as a cloud.
Tim, is there a chance the track could bend?
Not on your life, my Hindu friend.
Thank you for carrying that on. Well done.
Thank you. So Hamamatsucho, we get to there because Hamamatsucho is kind of our local station to our hotel.
Okay.
It's in an area called Minato City, and
city within a city.
That's just kind of how Tokyo is. It's cities within cities. Hence a mega city, the biggest city in the world, you could say.
Cityception, or I know how much you hate this.
I fucking hate that thing so much. But we immediately got lost coming out of it.
What, in the biggest city in the world?
In Hamamatsucho.
Okay.
So we immediately got lost, and we got helped by someone who was like, yes, you need to go out the north exit. And we went out the north exit, and a construction worker told us off for trying to leave the north exit.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
So our phones are dying, and I'm like, right, I'm just going to take a screenshot of the map and hopefully navigate our way there. Fucking nailed it, didn't I?
Nice.
Did that. And then we got to our hotel, where we stayed in this place called the Tokyo Grand. If anyone wants to look it up. Its decor is a little dated. We stayed on a floor that allowed smoking, and if people were smoking on the floor, you could definitely smell it in the hallway at the time, but not at all in the room. And this was our view.
Wow.
It was amazing. We had a very clear view of Tokyo Tower.
And for those of you who don't know, Tokyo Tower looks like the Eiffel Tower's bang in the middle of a futuristic city. It's very cool.
It's incredible. And we're there, we're excited to be in Japan, and we're watching some TV because we're trying to fall asleep to something, but obviously we're on very much different time zone.
Sorry, Tim, what time of the day is this?
We probably arrived about 9 o'clock at night, I think.
Okay, you've taken a few hours, I imagine, to get out of the airport until
pretty much, yeah.
And you're stuck in Hamamoto train station for like 6 hours, so...
Yeah. Payne somehow got more porridge. Don't know how she's done that. But we're watching a channel that is entirely just music videos with like sea life overlaid onto it.
Okay.
So you can see here, I was like, oh, hang on. I was like, there's a seal in this one. Hang on. You can hear how tired I am.
Yeah. Tim just said, I'm not even sure if there's a seal in this one. Oh, wait, there he is. And there's just... Was that you or Payne singing along?
That was Payne then. But like, it didn't just stay on seals. It did crabs and whales and lobsters. But that's all this channel was just like city pop with aquamarine life.
And if it was a thing here, would you watch it?
I feel like it's the kind of thing that a certain group of people with illicit substances might watch.
Okay, cool. You've got to have a target market.
Absolutely. So we went downstairs. We went and got some snacks from the local convenience store called Family Mart. We love Family Mart.
Okay.
Watch some TV.
What's good about Family Mart?
So there's 3 or 4 major convenience stores or konbinis in Japan. Family Mart, 7-Eleven, and Lawson.
Convenies is cute.
Konbini. And they each do something, better than the others. Lawson's really good for like your medical stuff. Like if you've got a cold or whatever, you just go there. But it also does like, your regular food and drinks and whatever. But it's not the best at it. 7-Eleven does the best kind of lunches, so you can go in there and get the best sandwiches, the best meal deals, whatever.
Okay.
Family Mart has Family Chickie, which is 100 yen for a piece of fried chicken thigh, and it might be the best chicken I've ever eaten in my life. It's
Wow.
incredible.
Did you have eggs while you were out there?
I did.
I heard on a podcast this week that there's something about the way that the Japanese do eggs, but they can't do a bad one.
Pretty much.
Hmm.
Like, I had raw egg out there and it was still good.
Okay, well, we'll get to that when we get to it.
We'll get to it. It comes up.
Okay.
So, we fell asleep watching TV because we found a TV channel called the Tokyo Computer Club, and they were just playing Solitaire and Minesweeper on it.
Nice.
Yeah. So we woke up the next morning, and Payne puts on the TV, and the first thing she sees is this.
What?
I don't know if you recognise this woman.
No.
That is Vera. For our audience, Vera is a like 90s to 2000s detective show set in North Shields in Newcastle.
Wow.
I have no idea why they were broadcasting it, but she found a channel dedicated to it.
A whole channel.
Dedicated to Vera.
Wow.
Really bizarre. So we woke up. That's our view of Tokyo Tower in the day.
It's a very, very good view, Tim, but I think it looks much better at night.
Oh yeah, Tokyo looks incredible at night. We went out to breakfast with our old next door neighbors from our previous place. They happened to be in Japan at the time, and we went to Ueno Park because there was a samurai festival on. How Japanese? Of course there was. So we saw a samurai metal band. There he is.
That's pretty cool.
That was cool. We wandered around. We saw a guy advertising Donald Trump burgers.
Ugh. The sign says
Delicious.
D-licious, and it says burger in the house, which Donald Trump is famous for saying.
That's his catchphrase, I believe. And then we saw this guy. This guy is a painter. Oh my god, that's loud. That's a painter.
Mm-hmm.
There's this white canvas on the back of the stage in this festival in Ueno Park, and he's just got this ink, and he's just doing lines, doing bits, yada yada yada. But then
is he doing bits?
He's doing bits, but as he goes on, it starts off from like this really simplistic line drawing, and then becomes like this, which is a really intricate like ink piece of the General Nobunaga, who unified Japan after I think Portugal opened up to the West.
No idea.
But like really, really important figure in Japanese history, and he just does this amazing freehand piece for about 15 minutes. Turns out he was selling his other paintings and what have you. But while we're watching this guy, this old man who stood in front of us can just hear us kind of chatting away, and in Japanese says to us, "There's a sakura tree over there. You should get a photo with it." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And so the rest of the group. The sakura trees weren't due to blossom for another 4 weeks or so.
Mm.
So, and this is the only one in the park that did it. Wow. So we just got a little tip from a local man being like, "Go see the sakura tree. It's neat."
That's nice. If that was in England, they'd say in not so Japanese, he'd say, "Go back to your own country."
Yeah, and then he'd say, "This isn't what we voted for."
So instead, you got a pretty pink tree.
Yeah, it's very nice. So we're wandering through Ueno Park. We see these little lanterns. We see this food festival that's on. We end up going to the shrine. There's fish.
I found out about, and Tim, you can tell me this is bullshit because I'm sure it is. Is it true that people release fish into Japanese, like sewage systems and rivers throughout? I can't think of the word for it. Basically, water management systems throughout cities because they keep it clean and make it look nice, and people are less likely to throw trash in there thinking that there's fish there.
I can't say I've heard of it, but I could believe it.
Okay, cool.
Neat. So we're wandering through this shrine in Ueno. These lanterns, by the way, the lanterns that you see with that are white with like the black kanji written on them, those are the names of people that have donated 10,000 yen or more to the shrine.
And how much is 10,000 yen?
About 50 quid.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, neat.
Nice.
But this shrine has a bunch of things to do with fortunes in it. So Payne picked out a couple of fortunes here, and the idea with it is that if you get a good fortune, you keep it, but if you get a bad fortune, you tie it to this fence on the way out of the shrine, and the shrine will actually go ahead and burn it for you.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We have these shrines here. Sorry, I'm just showing Joey these photos as I go through.
Any photo that we talk about in like that's I was going to say important. They're all important, but any photo that's of note that Tim will talk about, we'll give pretty good description of.
Then we saw this guy. Genie was his name.
We like Genie. He's a man in a yellow shirt with braces.
And no shoes at points in his performance, but he might be the single most entertaining man I think I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, really?
So we got there when his act was just starting up, and he was just doing some balloon animals, and he made a really weird long neck Minnie Mouse.
I like Genie.
And he was looking at it, was like, whoa, and then he popped it and then like retied it and was like, yeah, it's good. Now, there's a particular style of Japanese comedy where you incorporate errors into your act intentionally to be like, oh, he's bad at this, but in a funny way. That was this guy's entire act.
Nice.
And there was a point where he did. Do I have the video of him preparing the cloths? I'm just going to see if I do.
You're just making editing for yourself here.
I am. It's
just
fine.
Just leave the whole thing in.
So you know the trick where you put you pull a tablecloth in? He did that. By the way, what he's doing here is he's putting wine glasses on a tablecloth and a bucket on a tablecloth and a wine glass in the bucket and then a plastic baby, like a giant plastic baby in the top wine glass. Had a whole thing with plastic babies throughout his act. Very bizarre.
So he's doing the thing where you pull a tablecloth very quickly and the things are meant to stay.
But what he was doing in between these sets, because he would set up lots of little things, and I think he's about to do this here. He points to the audience and goes, "You." So it'd be like cheer, and then he goes, "Me, Genie, level up." Okay, I guess that's not the clip. Here you go. Watch him do this trick with the cloth where he's like setting up one table. So he's got like a whole table of stuff here, and he just goes very nonchalantly, wait for it, bam.
He did the trick in reverse.
In reverse.
So
really
for the audience, the trick where you pull the tablecloth quickly, he did it where he put the tablecloth on and everything stayed in place.
It's really bizarre.
It's really good.
There you go. This is him going, me, level up.
I like it. Genie has leveled up.
He had this whole act where he would put a wine glass on a balancing board on top of a cylinder, and he would balance on it. But the whole thing was he filled it with water, being like, it will stay, and it just went fucking everywhere. But it was great. And then he was, at one point, he went into his pocket to be like, I will drop this plastic baby into this glass that's beneath my feet. And then when he missed, he just had a whole pocket full of them, and he just threw them all on the floor until one of them went in.
That's good. I like Genie.
Genie was great. What else?
So Tim, we've been recording now with editing included for 45 minutes now. What day are we on? 1. It's
going to be a long episode.
Strap in, listener.
So we ended up going for beef bowls, which are these things here. You go into these places, and I can't remember the name of the chain exactly, but instead of talking to a person, you basically just go up to a ticket machine, tap in what you want, and then they'll give you a number, and then they'll call your number at the counter, and you just go and take it over. This food, so what we've got here is a miso broth. We've got a salad here. We've got beef and noodles and poached eggs and sesame and spring onion and all sorts of good stuff. That picture there, 2 meals worth, was about £7.
Wow.
Food out there is so cheap.
I always think of Japanese food as really small portions.
No, but this is good portions.
But these are massive.
It's great. And then we went to this place called Torikozoku, which is a specialist chicken and beer izakaya.
Isn't an isekai something to do with anime?
That's an isekai.
I learned that on BAP.
Go listen to BAP.
BAP.
An izakaya is basically you are given a table for a couple of hours and a tablet, and you just keep ordering as much food and drink as you want.
And all you can eat.
All you can eat. A lot of them will do a thing called tabe no me hodai, which means all you could drink as well. You can drink as much as you want, but they have a rule with a lot of these places where you could only have one alcoholic drink per person at the table at a time. Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
I can get behind that. Every single food item was 370 yen, so about £1.35.
Well, it's not all you can eat. It's just you keep ordering lots of different bits.
Small things.
Okay, got you.
Cool. We went to those a few times, and then on the way home, we saw people go-karting through Hamamatsucho. By the way, for the audience, if you are considering going to Japan and you want to be hated by the residents, do the go-karting. Apparently they hate it.
I'm not surprised. They are go-karting down a main road in Tokyo. Well, I would hate them.
They hate them because they're small, so they can't be seen. They don't know how the roads work or what the laws are surrounding them because they're They're tourists. They don't. I think you need a license for it, but you don't need like a Tokyo permit for it. They're loud and they're just for people who don't really give a shit about the rules of the road.
We did an electric go-kart thing in San Diego.
It was great.
I imagine people hated us.
Probably because we were very low to the ground.
Very low.
Then the next morning, we got up to this place. This is day 2.
Okay, day 2.
Day 2. I've titled this Tokyo, the Emperor's Birthday and Pain and Mine's Anniversary.
Oh,
fun.
you fucking sap.
So we woke up and went for the breakfast at this place called Jonathan's across the road from our hotel,
Very
where
Japanese.
we were served breakfast by a cat robot.
Okay, we've brought back the Japanese.
Yeah, there it is. Joey, can you just talk about what you're seeing on screen here?
How do I describe this? So it's quite a tall machine with an animated cat's face on it, wearing a tie, that has a hollow center with trays that I imagine are full of your breakfast.
Yes, that's correct. Now, Jonathan's is another place where you don't talk to anyone except for when you're coming in to say, hi, table for 1, table for 2. You order on a tablet, the cat will bring you your food and sing you a little song as it approaches. And it'll bring
the
a
song
receipt.
is so important.
It's very important to the service. So it will also bring out a little receipt for you to have. And when you're leaving, you just scan the barcode on the receipt and you basically throw your money into this bucket like a toll booth on the way out.
What, as in you pay for it on the way out like that?
Yeah.
I thought you'd pay for it on the tablet when you ordered.
No. It's like
Oh, wow.
if you like, it was a great way for us to get rid of loose coins. Just throw them into this toll booth of food.
And how do you know that you paid the right amount?
It'll say on the screen, you owe this much. This is your change, kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's neat. So the whole plan for today was to go to the Imperial Palace in Tokyo because it's the Emperor's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And people will line up to go into the Imperial Palace so he can give a speech and say, thanks for the birthday wishes.
Mate.
Yeah, let's have a crunkin' birthday or whatever he said.
That's a
and
direct translation, isn't it?
And people will shout "Omedeto kudasai" at him, which is like congratulations.
Okay.
I'm sure. So these photos here, Joey, this is the line that we were in.
Wow, that is a lot of people.
That was about one of 8 lines.
Bloody, how long were you queuing for?
We were probably in this bit for about an hour.
One of the 8 lines for an hour.
And we were the first group in. And
DL.
he was doing these speeches for, I think, about half an hour of the day. So people would just come in, he'd give his speech, they would get them out as quickly as possible, and then he'd do it all over again.
That is a shit birthday.
But it was really cool to go and see like the Imperial Palace. It's not something you get to do every day.
I can imagine it was cool. I imagine it was strange as well with them hurrying you along.
It was bizarre. Like, especially, I don't think I got a photo of it. No, it doesn't look like I did. The road up to the Imperial Palace, they had like a section for volunteers to hand out flags and water.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a section for people just going to visit. And it felt like you were being greeted the entire way down.
Oh, that's nice.
It was really bizarre. Like you were like an honoured guest for going in.
Nice.
Really bizarre to go into. So we got his speech. There he is.
What time did you get in there, roughly?
About 10 a.m., I think.
So the Emperor got a lion, at least.
A little bit of a lion, yeah, after
Nice.
his crazy night before.
Yeah.
So we're wandering around the Imperial Palace for a bit. Then we went into where did we get to? I think we just went back to kind of Tokyo Station where we saw like a gachapon corner.
Sorry, you're going to have to reward. What is a gachapon corner?
So gachapon is, there's the things you get at arcades or in shopping centers where you put like a pound in, you get like a capsule toy.
Yeah.
That's a gachapon.
Oh.
Japan loves its gachapon.
Okay.
So we had this, and then we went just for a wander. We found this place called Excelsior Coffee that did like shrimp buns and layered cheesecakes. And
Did you take a photo of everything you ate on this trip?
a lot of the stuff.
Okay, cool.
A lot of it. We went to the Pokemon Center.
Hey, there's Snorlax and Pikachu.
There he is.
I know them, and then if I look down at the ones below, I have no idea any of these 3.
There's Quaxley, Fuecoco, and Sprigatito. So
Okay, cool.
This Pokemon Center was a little bit rammed and a little bit busy for my liking.
Was it not Pokemon Day that week?
It was Pokemon Day in a few days' time.
Okay.
So we went there for Pokemon Day. But we got a few things. They got some like limited edition plushes. For the audience who don't know, my favorite Pokemon is Haunter. can you get Haunter merchandise? Can you fuck? Except in Japan, where I only got one sticker and a keychain involving all 3 of the Gengar line.
Wow. That's the only thing they sell that's Haunter.
Only thing Haunter related. There are plenty of Ghastly, plenty of Gengar, 0 Haunter.
If only you liked Pikachu, because that looks like it's everything.
It's everywhere. What else? We wandered around Ginza, which is kind of like a designer shopping district. And then we went to Don Quixote. Now, I don't know if you remember Don Quixote from the Yakuza game that we played, Joey.
No.
So, Don Quixote is a store that has everything you could possibly ever want ever.
Okay, cool.
I think their entire
Hold on,
business
Tim.
model...
Is this the thing with the floor that Pain isn't allowed on?
No, that's gone.
That's gone?
It's gone.
So you'll never know what was on the porn floor?
No, I mean, I have a theory that it was Pokemon cards and they just don't want the partners to know.
Very good.
Yeah, but Don Quixote, I think that whole thing is to overwhelm the customer and just into buying things.
Okay.
Because every single corner is a new aisle with completely different products and sights and sounds and smells and feels in there.
Hold on, Tim.
And yeah.
Did you buy anything?
Oh, loads of stuff.
So it works.
It absolutely worked. The only way you can get out of Don Quixote, seemingly, is to buy your way out, and that's because the exit is next to the cashier.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Then we went out for just more food. We went to this place called Hub, which is a Japanese take on a British pub. It was interesting.
Such a tourist.
I'm
going to leave the country, see the sights. What are you going to see?
Carlin.
A British pub and a Carling.
Look, you can see the fish and chips I had.
You actually got fish and chips?
I wanted to see what their approach on it
You are
was.
such a tourist.
Right, that's the end of day. Oh, we also started this thing, the train stamp collection.
Okay.
Eki stamps, they're called.
Okay.
Every single train station in Japan, I say every single, most train stations in Japan have a unique stamp. Do I have the book here with? I don't. I think it's downstairs. And each station will have its own unique stamp, and people go absolutely mad for collecting these stamps.
Okay.
And I didn't think I would get into it as much as I did.
Okay.
So I didn't get every page filled in a book, but I have a mostly filled notebook with individual stamps from stations. It was just neat to do.
So, sorry, where do you get the stamp?
Just in the station.
It's just there's a stamp there.
Yeah, like if I get a photo, Eki... Oh, Jesus Christ. Eki stamp. There we go. Bam. There we go.
Oh,
They're just little stamps.
that is
and people
cool.
just go mad for them.
I can understand why.
Yeah. So the next day, it's our journey to Kyoto. We are getting the bullet train.
I know what happens at the end of this day, and I'm looking forward to hearing you tell it.
What are you talking about?
Maybe not the end of the day, but when you get to Kyoto.
Oh, yeah. So we're getting the bullet train, and a traditional thing to do when you're getting the bullet train is to get a thing called Ekiben, or short for Ekibento, train lunch, along with a train beer. So
is it not... am I right in thinking it's bad manners in Japan to talk on the train?
you can talk to each other as long as you're like at a quiet enough volume that you're not like shouting at each other, but it's considered very rude to be on the phone.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Which, to be honest, is a rule I can very much get behind.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for the bullet train. That's a photo of our Ekiben. I got...
Ooh, nice.
I thought that was a chicken cutlet rather, sandwich, and a pork loin bento box. No, I just got like a ton of pork by mistake.
I mean, it looks good.
It's really good. Like, do I have a photo of it? Yeah, here we go.
Ooh, yummy.
Like delicious, like rice and pickled ginger and
nice little bit of cock shot there, Tim.
Yeah. And then that was Payne's one, which was like chicken karage and rice, and I don't know what this is.
That doesn't look anywhere near as good as yours.
So, that's Mount Fuji, by the way. So we're on the train. We passed Mount Fuji. Great. Got to see a lovely thing of Mount Fuji. And I thought, they said on the announcement, we're passing through a tunnel, because they give you the heads up for that. So I was like, I thought it'd be...
Why do they give you a heads up?
Don't know. Just something they give you the heads up for.
Okay.
But so I thought it'd be really cool to, get a, here's one side, and then we're going to go through the tunnel and get the other side. This was on the other side. a ton of snow, which we had not prepared for.
Blizzard.
Like it's not even like light snow. Like there's one video right here that I've got where you can see it's really thick snow.
It's like that foggy, thick snow where you know it's not going away anytime soon.
So this was between Nagoya and Kyoto, and then we get off the train at Kyoto. Nothing. Absolutely no snow.
Oh, it looks really quite warm.
Yeah.
Are you still with your friends at this point?
No, they've stayed in Tokyo.
Okay, so who are these two people that you've taken a photo of?
They were just people who walked into my shop.
Okay. I like that you took a photo of an Italian restaurant.
It was a really tall, thin Italian restaurant. We just thought it was really interesting because all the buildings like out there, and Payne pointed this out when we were on the train. None of the architecture matches, and as a result, everything works because they're not trying to fit a theme and something's deviated from the theme. There is just no theme.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So our hotel is down one of these back streets. We stayed at this place called the Stay Sakura in Kyoto. Highly recommended. This is our room. This is me trying to stay out of shot and then realizing I have a bit more of a gut than I would originally like.
The face you're pulling on that photo is like, oh shit.
And there is... So this is something I noticed in Kyoto first. They do it all over the country. But what outside of any like cafes and restaurants or what have you, is they'll have plastic versions of the food on display out front so you can see what you're getting.
I've seen this in England.
Really?
Yeah. And I asked the person about it. I said, do you change that all the time? And what they actually did was they made it once and they covered it in varnish.
Jesus Christ.
We did not eat that.
So we ended up wandering around this mall in Kyoto for a while, went to the arcade, we got our Japanese McDonald's. It was okay.
Japanese, sorry, hold on, go back to your Japanese McDonald's. What on earth is that thing that you're pointing at now?
This is Payne's one. It was like a chicken teriyaki burger.
You know what, that looks banging. What are you eating?
So they don't have filet of fish out there. What they have is filet of prawn.
Hold on, Tim. I mean, I've got problems with you having filet of fish anyway, but you actually have filet of prawn.
Yeah, it was good.
You are fucking wrong good.
I had a Fanta grape with it as well. That was weird.
You are a wrong gun.
So we're wandering around these arcades. We played some Taiko no Tatsujin, which is like the drumming arcade game that you might have seen.
Yeah. Pete gave me a copy when he gave me the Switch.
It's fun. It's a really fun game.
Yeah.
They had like a Gundam mech store thing. They had a One Piece card game store, and then we came home after a bit of a wander. This hotel that we're staying in had possibly the best bath. Now, I'm not one for baths. I don't normally get.
Did you
baths.
have a bath, Tim?
This hotel single-handedly changed my mind about baths. Like, okay. I completely get it. So it's obviously not a very long bath. What it is very deep.
It looks just like a washing bowl.
So there's a couple of things of note here. The bath is very deep. So instead of being like, oh, I'm just kind of sitting in whatever, you're actually like basically up. Like I was up to my neck in how deep this thing was.
We stood up.
I was not stood up, no. But you can see at the end there, they have a little TV at the end.
Okay.
Which is neat. But then the bat will also have this thing here, which is a water temperature monitoring and regulator thing. So you can set your water to be at a specific temperature, and some of them will play a little chime when your water is at temperature.
Does it stay at temperature, or
this one did stay at temperature with this panel.
Wow.
It's actually really well done.
Okay. So it's like a hot tub more than a bath.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Tim, did they all have bidets there? Like did you use the magic Japanese bum cleaner?
All the time. Are you kidding? All the fucking time. I totally get it. We have a story about that later, actually.
Oh, God.
So in this arcade, going back to it, there's a story that Joey alluded to here, where I saw, I got by TikTok marketing. I'd been seeing these gachapon things, if you cast your mind back to 10 minutes ago, where I explained what a gachapon is. It's, they have these ones where instead of getting a capsule toy, you get a key to a locker. Mm-hmm. And these lockers showcase prizes like boxes of Pokemon cards, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and I was like, yeah, for 2,000 yen, I'll give this a go.
Sorry, 2,000 yen is how much?
About a tenner.
Okay.
I want to say.
Hold on, how much is 100 yen?
50p.
Are you sure?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to this thing being like, yeah, I'm gonna try and win a PS5 or something. I don't have it on my desk, but what I won was a keychain of some takoyaki, which is a little fried octopus ball. Cost me a tenner. Those things are actually delicious, by the way.
Was it worth it?
No. Fucking no.
Is it there purely to catch tourists like you?
Probably. Probably. Day 3. We are in... Oh, yeah, Kyoto, going to Osaka. We have this whole plan to do this thing called the K-Loop, which is a bus service that runs, and basically there's a figure 8 around Kyoto going to see the different spots. So, like, there's a really famous pagoda, and there's a really famous market on. You can just kind of hop off and on at your leisure. Right?
Okay. Tim, if you say we have a plan to do a bus service, can you make it like a more glamorous than that? Because it sounds quite sad.
It's a city tour guide.
There you go. Say no more.
It wasn't on. It's a summer only thing. So
good.
What we did have though was this plan to go and see this this flea market that was on at this really big temple in Kyoto called Kitano Tenmangu.
Okay.
And if I show you, there you go. That's a photo of the torii gate that's out the front of it. It's absolutely massive.
It's a big boy.
It's a huge thing. The bus there though might be the worst bus experience I've ever had in my life because it's just crammed, unbelievably fucking crammed. Like people, like they have these people in Japanese stations and at bus stations called pushers, and they're there to push people into buses and trains to just get as many people on as possible. I was, face to face with people.
Were you giving them little smooches as they went?
I was in. Like,
it didn't come up on the microphone, so
I'll put a big kissing sound effect in. So we went for a wander through this thing. I tried a strawberry and cream sandwich, absolutely fucking delicious.
Torii.
No, it's amazing. It's like it's
Torii.
It's cheap. It's good. It's just good.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's good. It's Torii. Yeah, keep going.
All right.
I also really like how much it winds you and pain up when I call you Tories.
We live in the South, and it's a common insult, I guess. So we're wandering through. We're going to see the temple. We tried this dango stuff, which is like mochi on a stick kind of thing. It's really nice. What else? We end up coming back to Tokyo. We tried some sushi. This salmon sushi, very fresh salmon sushi, might be the most refreshing thing I've ever eaten.
Really?
Like I actually felt hydrated afterwards.
I don't like sushi.
Oh no, I love it.
Creeps me out.
Absolutely love it. And then we're done here, and we've got to get to Osaka. We have a reservation at this restaurant in Dotonbori, and Payne's having a look at the thing, look around the shops just while we're waiting for our train. And I said, I'll go and get the bags because we've left them in a coin locker. It's like, cool, I'll meet you back here. Don't be long, whatever. I then proceeded to get lost in Kyoto Station, and I don't know how I got so lost, but at one point I wound up on the roof. And
with or without the bags?
With the bags. And you can see I took some photos from the roof. So, like, here's me by the maintenance hatches. Don't know how I got there. And then Payne's talking to these artists down like this shopping center, like basement shopping bit. And then I get a text from her being like, "Hey, come down. I talked to these artist friends with me." And I'm like, certainly trying. I'm looking for any way down. I eventually got there, met them. We got a free caricature out of them, which is nice.
Can I see it?
It is downstairs.
Oh, okay. Is it a funny caricature one?
It's a fun one, yeah. It's a fun one.
Cool.
It emphasizes my big, messy hair.
Okay.
But then we got on this thing called the Aoniyoshi, which is the sightseeing train.
Okay.
Now, the sightseeing train, the unique thing about it is the seats are all angled on one side at 45 degrees. So instead of you turning your head or your body to look out the window, you're naturally pointed that way.
It would be so straining to turn your head or body.
It would. We had these foods that were exclusive to this region called Nara. This is called a Mont Blanc. It's like a plum dessert thing.
Okay.
Really nice. And also a train beer, because it's, the train in Japan, you have a train beer.
Sorry, Tim, can I ask you a question about that
one? Don't know what's going on with that.
So there's a photo of the inside of the sightseeing train, but in the bottom left corner, it's just Tim's little happy face.
My little head. Now we're going through the countryside, going out of because this train runs. Let me get this right. In the morning, it does Osaka to Nara, Nara to Kyoto, and then throughout the day, it'll do Kyoto to Nara, Nara to Kyoto, back and forth. And then in the evening, it'll do Kyoto, Nara, Osaka.
Okay. So it starts and ends in Osaka.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we are on the train, leaving Nara and going to Osaka, and we see this here. It's a temple that is currently being built, refurbished, or something. But we noticed they'd drawn the temple on the outside of the construction area that they were doing up, so people could still kind of see the temple.
That's cute.
Very cute. And then as we're passing into Osaka, this is the view that we've got. It's absolutely stunning. This view.
It's big.
Huge city.
I would have. Well, I'm sure you have seen something like it because you stayed in the biggest city in the world, Tim.
But we saw that at night, and this is in the sunset.
Okay, cool.
So we get to this is the time lapse I took. The train wasn't moving this
Oh
quick.
my god.
We get to Osaka, and we have these things called IC cards or Suica cards, which are basically like Oyster cards for our London listeners. And
so sorry for anyone who doesn't know what an Oyster card is. That is like a pass to get on the London Underground, basically.
But in Japan, you can use it for vending machines, you can use it for buses, you can use it for just other public services like phone booths, whatever. Like if it's a public service, you can use it at it.
Nice.
And I had paid for the bus in Kyoto on my IC card, and Payne had paid it in cash. I had forgotten about this when I arrived at Osaka, and didn't realize there wasn't enough money on my card.
What, for the train journey you've just taken?
For the train journey you've just taken, because what they do is they charge you. The way it works is you scan your card in, and then they charge you on the way out.
Okay, so it's different amounts for different journeys.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm there, and I'm trying to communicate with the security guard. Asking him, "Do you speak English?" With ego ga hanashimasu ka? And
do you mean?
Yeah.
Do you speak English?
English. And they were like, "Yeah, no." And I was like, "Oh, great. Okay." So I was like, "Money." Money. he was just like, he looked at my card and went, "Money," and pointed at my card, and I went, "Oh, I need to put more money on." Got it.
Oh, okay.
Fine, got sorted. Easy. So we ended up running through Dotonbori to get to our restaurant. YP were you?
I know this. So is this the one that you told me about where they do the different cuts of Wagyu?
Correct. Yeah. So this is all different cuts of Kobe beef.
Oh, Kobe beef. Sorry.
Yeah. So this is where also I had some raw egg. What they'll do is, so this is our starter. It's got like a pickled ginger thing, some cuts of beef, some leafy greens, and then they give you some strips of beef, some raw egg, and some sesame seeds. And you're meant to mix the beef into the yolk and just eat it that way.
Okay.
And it was beautiful.
Salmonella rates are through the roof.
It was absolutely beautiful. And then we had this, they brought this out for us, which is what I call a staircase of Kobe beef.
It literally is. For anyone wondering about this picture, it literally is like a staircase of beef.
So the chef comes out, brings us this, this is our chef over here, brings us this, and he explains what each individual cut of the meat is and why they cut it that certain way. And he talks about the marbling. It's like, here's how you cook it, because each table has its own little grill built into it. And he's like, when he was talking to us, he was like, this one here, this one's tongue at the top. This one you need to cook well done. These ones here, further down the staircase, you can cook however you like. But this one here, this last one that's on a plate at the bottom of the staircase, is called sukiyaki. And you only want it on the grill for maybe a second, because it's so thin, it will just fry like that.
Wow.
It was amazing. So we had like tongue, we had loin, we had round, rump. I don't remember what the name of this one was. Annoyingly, the flower in the picture I've got is cutting it off. But I remember it's part of the nose bone of the cow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Absolutely beautiful.
What was your favourite?
The nose bone, by a mile.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I never had anything like it before. And then this is our palate cleanser, some miso soup with some more beef in it and rice.
Just beef, rice, and water.
Beef. So we're wandering through. We're wandering through Osaka to get to our hotel in this place called Jusan. That was it. Jusan, which actually translates to 13. No idea why it's called that, but this is our view from the hotel. We're opposite a Love Hotel, which, if you know what that is, that's a lot of fun. I'm
sure it is if you go in.
If you go in.
I'm sure if you live near it, not so much.
The next day, this is day 5 of this holiday. big headline thing. I proposed to Payne on this day.
Hey, I was waiting. Tim, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm getting out. I'm getting that out there now because that's going to come up very important in a story later on.
Okay, cool.
So, I have this whole plan because we're going to Kobe, where Payne used to live, and I have this whole plan that we're going to go up Mount Maya, which is the mountain that overlooks Kobe. It overlooks the sea, it overlooks the peninsula, overlooks the university, overlooks everything. And I'm going to pop the question there. Whole great thing. We get on the train to Kobe, and I jokingly said to Payne, "Can you imagine if this was closed for the summer like the K-Loop?" And then she looked it up. It was closed for maintenance.
Tim, do you not do any research for this kind of thing?
I didn't think to. So when she said that, I'm thinking, shit, I'm going to have to improvise all day somewhere.
Okay.
So I spent the next 10 hours looking for somewhere to pop the question. So I'm looking around the whole day, just trying to find a place to improvise. That's kind of in the back of my mind the whole time.
Okay.
So we got off the train. We wandered around where Payne went to uni. We saw the vending machine that she used to get her morning coffee at every single day. So that was fun. That's what
cute.
This photo here is from. So that's her uni. That's the drink she used to get, and we're stood next to the vending machine.
Nice.
Fun. We went to a breakfast place and ordered. Well, I thought I was ordering a sandwich, and we ended up ordering high tea by mistake.
I do need to ask you about the photo below.
This.
Okay. Tim has taken a photo of the urinals.
So, okay. The thing is with this, we were leaving the station in Kobe. I don't remember the exact name of the station. And I was like, I'm going to go to the loo. Completely empty. This toilet was so bizarre because if you notice on the left, there's just a spot to just dump your baby while you go off and do whatever you want.
I imagine go to the loo.
Well, yeah, not like, I'm going to go up Mount Maya and check if that's open. But like, I don't know, it just felt really bizarre to be like, park the baby there and go off for a shit.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So we arrive in Sanamiya, which is kind of like the big town near Kobe. We arrive at the station that's near a place called Butt Plaza because there is these statues, which are just several butts stacked one on top of the other.
Nice.
No idea why. Let's have a look. We went to this place called Ikuda Jinja, which is the shrine for good health.
Gingers,
and then we went to it for gingers. Yep, it's absolutely beautiful shrine.
It is. Looks lovely.
It's absolutely stunning. But it's just like, if you notice in the buildings around it, it's just like in the middle of a bunch of apartment blocks and offices and stuff like that.
Very cool.
Went to this arcade. That was fun. What else? We went to this place called Motomachi, which is like a big shopping district. And this is where we first started seeing Spider-Man. I don't know.
There actually is a Spider-Man in the picture. It's not Tim saying, like, I was going mad.
Yeah.
I saw Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm not having hallucinations. There is a Spider-Man there. And I don't know what it was about the Kansai region, which is kind of like the mid to southern district of Japan. They love Spider-Man. There were Spider-Man statues in basically every place we went to. There was like 3 in Dotonbori alone.
Who wouldn't love Spider-Man?
I don't know. But it seems to be that everywhere in this Motomachi shopping district is vying for your attention to shop there because we found this.
Yeah, that's a robotic velociraptor.
That's what they're selling, Joey. Can you just read that for me, please?
We have rose-themed interior goods, lamps, and carpets. We offer a wide variety of attractive products at reasonable prices. We're especially proud of our carpet selection and their affordable prices. Please feel free to visit us.
What's that got to do with an animatronic dinosaur?
Everything.
All right, well, that explains why there's several of them above the shop.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. What else was around here? We found another little shrine. We went to this department store and I found some Guilty Gear whiskey.
Which you bought.
I bought. I sent Joey a text saying, I can't justify this, and then I bought it immediately afterwards.
Tim, that's not all about that whiskey. Where was the whiskey made?
It's English blended whiskey, but it's one of 7,500 bottles, and I'm pretty sure mine is number 208.
So Tim bought whiskey that was made in England, shipped to Japan, and brought it back to England.
Yeah, it's sat on the shelf behind me. You can probably just about see it if I angle my camera up there.
There you go.
There you go.
Delicious.
Delicious. We then went back to the hotel, absolutely knackered, and I just said to Payne, I've been looking for an excuse all day to do this and pop the question.
Nice.
Because I couldn't think of a better time. My whole thing was I wanted to do it on the day that we went to Kobe because it means a lot to her, and we weren't going back to Kobe.
And
so,
were you only there for the one day?
the one day?
Okay. Oh well, that's amazing.
That's something.
The photos of you two, is that you saying we're engaged?
No, this was at a separate destination. We went from Jusan in Osaka to this place called Osaka Shimsaibashi, which is Osaka's like kind of take on the nerdy districts.
Okay.
We arrived and we saw these guys, like a group of about 4 or 5 people staring at this desk, and we were like, what's this? And then this guy just went, you want a picture? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then he just took my phone and sat me and Payne down at this desk. It's a little fake train operating station, just in the middle of a shopping centre.
Payne looks so happy.
I know. And I'm just like, yeah, operating this train. They had Godzilla statues. They had a Valorant pop-up store.
Yeah.
Your favorite company. But being honest, the big reason that I wanted to go there was they have the Capcom store and Monster Hunter had just launched.
Very cool.
Very cool. So there's me with there's a Palico. There's Ryu from Streets. Mega Man's. They had an Ultraman store. Very cool.
Nice.
That's some of the Monster Hunter statues. That's some of the even bigger Monster Hunter statues. Street Fighter stuff. More statues. They had Devil May Cry stuff there. I bought a limited edition hoodie by a designer called Ann Chips, along with a fabric sticker thing for the hunting horn. My
Very
weapon,
cool.
Monster Hunter.
Should have bought
we
the
found a store
Gunlance. That's what I think.
The Gunlance is very cool. Then they had this store next door to the Capcom store that just had a big burger in it. I have no idea what it was about. Just giant burger.
I want to ask you about the one below that, the little green thing.
Yeah.
What is that?
That is from My Neighbor Totoro. They had a whole Ghibli store.
A cartoon.
Payne bought some stuff from there. Then they had a Godzilla store.
Now this is my shit. Talk to me about the Dark Souls store.
That was after the Snoopy store.
They're so related.
They're very related. What was this one? Oh yeah, more JoJo stuff. As I'm coming out the Lucas, I was like, I'm desperate for a piss. Went for a piss. Came out, and I saw this.
Yeah.
Joey, who's that?
Sigward.
Yeah, from Dark Souls 1. And I was like, oh my god, why is he here? And then I looked at the merch and was like, oh my god, it's a From Software pop-up store.
Sorry, you thought, why is he here?
Yeah.
It's because you need to partake in jolly cooperation, Tim.
Damn right we do.
And I realise that's not Sigward, but it is the line.
Yeah, it's close enough. But they had like statues of Artorias. They had Millennia's arm from Elden Ring. They
also
had,
says
Bloodborne
do not
merch.
touch next to Millennia's arm, doesn't it?
Yeah, I imagine a lot of people have touched it. But they also had like the different groups and clans from Bloodborne as necklaces. I got a Bloodborne shirt, which I'd never be able to get in the UK.
No.
The shirt I've got has just got a picture of like, it's like an etched picture of the Amygdala from Bloodborne, and it says, "Oh, Amygdala, go easy on the poor bastard."
That's very cool.
Oh, it's cool.
I'm guessing you didn't show anyone your Bloodborne tattoo.
No, I did. I showed the checkout guys, and I was like, "Oh, big Bloodborne fan." Showed him this, and the guy called over his friend and was like, "Look."
Did he go, "Oh my god, Yakuza, get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here. Go be friends with Koro Majima." So then we wandered around.
Sorry, Tim. Quick question about the tattoos. It is frowned upon in Japan to have tattoos because they're associated with the Yakuza. Is that still the case?
So it depends on where you are. A lot of onsens or like private baths or whatever, which use hot spring water, won't let you in if you have tattoos at all.
Okay. And
it tends to be more like Tokyo that is more accepting of them because they recognize that foreigners have them.
Right.
Kansai, not so much.
Okay.
It just depends on the region you're in.
Okay.
Like if I were to go to like somewhere rural in Japan and they saw my tattoos, I'd probably have a bit of an issue.
Got you. Okay, cool.
So we went over to Dotonbori, which is where we ran through the night before, or the day before,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a day or two before. Very famous for the river and the Glico Man. If anyone knows what that is, it's this fella over here.
No idea.
Just a man running, just very famous.
Is it you the night before?
It's me the night before. I was doing that pose.
Nice.
We arrive into Dotonbori. We get the famous 10 yen waffle cheese coin thing. Cost 500 yen. It was basically a waffle with cheese in it.
500 yen?
500 yen for a coin that's shaped like a 10 yen coin.
I feel like they've had you there, Tim.
They saw me coming.
Because
Then
you
we
were
eventually
running.
stopped. They saw me. Where's that guy going? Get him a waffle. We stopped off at this place called Hoshino Coffee. Absolutely beautiful coffee and cake. Just sat on the river doing this. And I say sat on the river like it's a really calm and naturistic view. It's like built up and urban as for. It
still looks very relaxing.
Oh yeah, no, that
it looks like
the quietest part.
A peak of serenity within an urban jungle.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it. We went sign spotting in Dotonbori, which is where you go and look for the unusual signs that are up and about, like this Buddha baby with big feet.
Oh, that's cute. When it was on the little preview, I thought it was a Buddha with big boobs.
No, she's got big feet.
Oh, cool.
There's this thing. I don't remember what that was. There's this guy who's just
an angry chef.
Angry chef. He's the doorway. There was a crab sticking out a building. That's cool.
Okay.
They had this dragon. Now the dragon here is actually pretty famous because there's a story behind why it's got a tier. Before, it used to have a tail that stuck out over here, on kind of across the building behind it. But the people who own the building behind it sold the building, and the company that came in and bought the building were like, "Well, we want to do something to the front of the building, but your dragon tail is obstructing the way." And the council were like, "You don't have the rights to have that tail there," so they cut the tail off and they added a tier.
Oh,
yeah.
Poor dragon.
We got some more takoyaki, which is like the deep fried octopus balls. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. Payne went cork shooting. And
I was going to say, is Payne holding a gun?
Yeah, no, she's cork shooting.
Okay.
Then we just carried on wandering around Dotonbori until we had our appointment at the Monster Hunter Cafe. Just before this, we had like maybe 10 minutes before, so we went up to the Final Fantasy Cafe, which was just above it, themed after stuff from Final Fantasy 14, the MMO. Really fucking cool in there. Just like really ornate woodwork. That's like.
I'm surprised that you booked Monster Hunter over Final Fantasy.
Oh no, Monster Hunter all the way.
Really?
As much as I liked Final Fantasy 14, playing it's the most fun I've ever had with an MMO. I definitely prefer Monster Hunter.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So we stood outside the Monster Hunter Cafe, and they have these things called guild cards, and you can write, "Hey, I'm on this network. I specialize in this weapon. I'm this hunter rank. Feel free to add me for these quests."
Japan is just full of fucking nerds, isn't it?
It's so many nerds. So many nerds. And we get in. They've got a barbecue spit like in the game. They've got a bone greatsword in the end.
Yeah, I know that one because I use it.
We've got the Valstrax armor. We've got the Goromagala armor. There's me turning the hot
posing with the spit.
That's me with the spit.
That's Tim spit roasting.
It's me spit roasting as I do. There's the Shara Ishvalda long sword on the wall. Apparently, the Monster Hunter Cafe in Akihabara has got even more weapons and armor. This is a small one. So we end up getting these beers and some cocktails. I had one called a Magna Marlowe, which is after the flagship monster from Monster Hunter Rise. Payne got a potion that you can mix with other things to make it more bitter or more sweet or whatever. It's kind of like you're brewing a potion in the game. And if you successfully completed a quest in either Monster Hunter Rise or Monster Hunter Now, the mobile game, while you were there and it was a specific quest, you get 100 yen off your next visit.
Oh, that's cute.
That's cute.
50p, but yeah.
50p, but yeah, it's a bit of fun. Got some dango, and it looked exactly like this in the Monster Hunter Rise games, which is cool to see.
Was your food cooked by cats?
It was not cooked by cats,
Get your money back.
We saw this Palico bin, which I didn't like.
I don't either.
And then what? Oh yeah, we got the bullet train back from here. So we got some train beers. We saw not Mount Fuji.
No, that's not Fuji.
That's not Mount Fuji. It's a lot shorter.
Mini Fuji.
Yeah. And then we came back. I had some convenience store food because it was kind of late when we got back in. And then went to bed basically. The next day, day 7 of 12, we're over halfway at this point.
Tim, we've been going for an hour and a half, just so you know.
Oh, I know. It's going to be a long episode.
Okay.
Day 7, we went from Tokyo to Kamakura and then from Kamakura to Hakone.
Okay.
So we went to Kamakura first. Absolutely lovely sea town, and we immediately saw a dog cafe and went inside. This is what I was met with.
Aww.
If the video will load.
Little fun fuzzy. Wow.
So many dogs. That one on the end there was a little yapper. That pug that was there as well seemed to be a bit of a runt because it was just being picked on, for lack of a better term, by all the other dogs. But there was a point where a dog fell asleep on Payne's arm. That was cute.
Aww.
We went outside, got a what was it? Good luck butter cake, which had like red bean paste in it. Very cool. On this one street in Kamakura, which is like the main shopping street, we saw a dog cafe. So 4 dog cafes, a cat cafe, a micro pig cafe, and an owl cafe.
Wow.
The only one that was missing was fish.
Did you see any of the micro pigs or owls?
No.
Oh. Do you know they existed?
Yes.
How?
They had videos of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could stick a carrot on a horse's head, take a video and say it's a unicorn cafe.
That would probably sell.
It would.
We saw the shirt caught that just said, "I'm having a fat attack," which I thought was very funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's funny. Kind of wish I got that. We ended up going to the giant bronze Buddha statue in Kamakura. It's very cool. It's very, very tall. We were doing some reading because there's a thing that you can do where you can pay, I think, 500 yen to go inside of the statue.
Okay.
And they have this whole sign detailing how it was all built. Turns out this whole statue is made of about 30 individual layers of cast iron that just stacked one on top of the other.
That's very cool.
Very cool. And we went to this spot. This is anime from a long time ago called Slam Dunk. And the opening credits for this, I'm going to get this. Slam Dunk Kamakura. Here we go. So this is the shot that people are trying to recreate. If I can just get this. Opening theme? Will that do it? Yeah, here.
That was it.
So people are trying to recreate that shot.
Okay.
That's what all of these tourists here are doing. And here is my attempt at the shot because I couldn't get that close.
Why couldn't you get that close?
They wouldn't allow people to stand in the road properly.
But all those people are stood in the road.
Correct. So, listen to this.
So, just as the train was coming, a truck pulled up and blocked your view entirely, and all I heard was Tim go, bruh.
So that was cool. We ended up going to this city called Odawara. That was on the way to Hakone, where we were going for an onsen. And this photo that I'm showing you here is just outside of the main station in Odawara.
Yeah.
You can see Odawara Castle just there. And the bus station is just below where we are, and we knew we needed to get a bus, but not what bus.
Okay, so for the listener, Tim is showing me a picture of a built-up city, and in the background of it, there is a castle.
Yeah, but below us, we've got this bus station. And Payne says, I know, well, I'll try and match the kanji, because this is the one thing that Google Translate was not translating, was the kanji for the bus. We'll try and match the kanji to the bus stops.
Mm-hmm.
And we were looking around going, nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Across about maybe 10 or 15 stops. And this guy, we just hear this guy go, can I help you? And it was a Japanese bus driver getting off the bus.
Wow.
And I went, yes, we're trying to get to Hakone. We're trying to get to this place in Hakone. And he goes, okay, you drive, I'll direct you. And I went, I can't drive.
You can drive?
I can drive, but I can't drive in Japan. That's a very different rule set.
So you're saying we don't have a car?
Yeah. And he just went, oh, okay. He went, show me on the map. And I showed him on my phone, and I handed him my phone, and he just went, thank you very much, and put it in his pocket. And he gave it back. And he was like, oh, you need this bus. And he basically just ran us over to this bus that was about to leave. And he goes, these guys, just wait for them. And I showed the bus driver on the bus that we're getting on. Do you go to this stop? And he went, yes. Great. We'll sit on the bus. We'll go up this. And we're watching the bus go up this winding mountain road. It's doing hairpin turns. It's doing turns like I've never seen a bus do. And eventually the bus takes very much a turn that I'm not expecting.
Okay.
And hang on. Seeing if I can get this here. Can I get this? Oh, I can. No, I can't. I have to use the app, bro.
Bruh.
So the bus takes a turn that we're not expecting, and Payne says, will you go and ask the driver? And I went, yeah, that's fine, I'll go and ask the driver. I went, hey, I thought we were going here. And he goes, no, I can't take you there. You need to get off and go back to Odawara. And it's like,
you know where you just came from?
Yes. And I was like, oh, okay. I went, Payne, come on, we're getting off the bus.
Well, What time of the
Instead of
day is
going-
this?
Maybe 9 o'clock at night.
Fucking hell.
And this is like in the mountains. And I just want to see if I can get it on maps just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here. Asante in Japan. Kanagawa is the region we're in.
Okay.
I think we must. Yeah, we were around here. It dropped us off. We were expecting it to drop us off over here.
Okay.
This is about a 45-minute walk.
Okay.
Through the pitch black mountains with not really much.
It's very Jay Slater, isn't it?
It's a little bit. But it's just like very up, very down.
Very all
we
around.
eventually got there. Very all around.
Did you walk?
We eventually. Oh yeah, we walked. And we eventually got to this onsen that we're staying at, the Asante Inn in Kanagawa, and they were like, "Oh, there's not many people actually staying here tonight, so you can actually have a room upgrade for free if you want." It's like,
Oh, that's
cool.
cool.
Great. So this is what we had. We had like the full-on tatami futon experience, and we, got some warm food in us. We got some beers. We sat in the onsen, which is like a hot spring thing. This was our view in the morning of like the mountain and the Zen garden. Absolutely amazing. This is what the futons look like when they're rolled out. They're actually very comfortable.
But yeah, looks nice.
At this point, we're in day 8.
Okay.
I didn't write much down for this one. The reason being is our only real plan was we needed to do laundry. That was about it.
You wild pair.
So we basically just went to Odawara, had a bit
Hold
of a wander
on, you've
around.
gone right past the Zen garden.
What about it?
It's very pretty.
Very pretty.
Have I shown you this? Hold on.
Hello. Oh, that's very pretty.
I have my own Zen garden on my desk.
Yeah,
It's exactly the same as the one in Tim's pictures.
it's like for like.
Size as well.
Yeah. The train that we're getting from this place called Gora, thankfully the onsen we were staying at gives you a lift to the local station
So you didn't have to walk through the
mountains.
mountains.
So we got on this train, and instead of this train kind of going, one set direction down the mountain, it operates on a number of switchbacks.
Okay.
It kind of goes back and forth down the one face of the mountain. Really interesting. Went to Odawara, got some food, and then we were like, okay, let's go back to Tokyo. Did some laundry, had a bit of a wander around Hamamatsucho.
You did the laundry.
Did the laundry.
That's
Went
what's
to
important in this holiday.
Yeah. Day 9.
Good.
Oh, day 8 did have this though. Can you just read what that says there for me, Joe? This is in a Family Mart, what they're selling at the counter.
Sausage dipped in wheat or corn, battered and fried.
That there, if I'm reading the kanji, is America dogu.
It's a corn dog.
American dog.
I would have got it because I fucking love a corn dog.
Nah, I'm not a big fan.
I love a corn dog.
So, oh yeah, that was the Eki stamps I just got a photo of. Day 9, went to Shinjuku, Harajuku, and Shibuya.
Shibuya.
First photo I've got here is the 3D cat billboard. That's not a cat. That's an anime lady. Hang on. There we go.
Nice.
The photos aren't really doing it that much justice, but I want to see if I've got a video of it anywhere. I think this is this is a video of it knocking stuff off. If anyone's interested in this, the 3D cat billboard in Shinjuku. But they'll also give the cat hats and make it present the news. That sort of thing.
It's very good.
It's really bizarre. I think I have one with it where it's presenting the news. That's it asleep. Do I have one of it presenting the news? I don't. So, the weather, and I'm making this very important note here because it's important for the next few days afterwards. 19 degrees Celsius and sunshine.
Nice.
Pretty good day. So we're wandering around. We went to this area called Kabukicho.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only place in Tokyo that didn't feel like Tokyo in a not good way.
Oh, really?
Tokyo is clean. It's safe. This had a lot of litter and definitely a lot of seedy places in there.
Oh, really?
In Kabukicho. But we were going to this area. By the way, we saw this hotel here, the Godzilla Hotel, which I think host of the pod, host of the BAP, Pete stayed in.
Host of the BAP, Pete.
Yeah.
Nice.
But we went to this place called Artina, which is the Square Enix cafe.
Did
We
you
had a
spend your
plan
whole
to go-
time going to nerdy cafes?
Near enough.
Good.
We did debate getting food there, but then we saw it was really expensive for not great stuff. So, but you could wander around like the collection stuff for free.
Very cool.
So we got like, mana crystals and statues and all sorts of gubbins.
You looked very into that one. Go back.
Which one?
You go down. Sorry, editing for you. That one.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Ooh woo.
Oh, woo. I'm pointing my fingers at each other as well.
Ooh woo.
Then we went to Kabukicho, like the main street. This is, for those who don't know, I like my Yakuza games, and this is the street where a lot of them are set.
Nice.
Neat. Wandered around there for a bit, and then we went to Meiji Jingu, which is a huge shrine in the kind of Shinjuku area. Went for a wander. Went to another izakaya. Got pretty drunk. Then we wandered over to something that I've been wanting.
Sorry, what's with the photo of your face?
Oh, Payne was taking photos.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
We got to do something that I've always wanted to do: the Shibuya Scramble.
Did you do it?
We did it while kind of drunk.
Was it terrifying?
Not at all. Not at all. It's smaller than you'd expect, but at the same time a lot more like condensed in that there's a lot more going on.
Okay, cool.
So if I just cross that, there you go. So that's what it looks like when people are crossing it at a street level.
I can see why it's called the Shibuya Scramble.
Yeah, there's so many eggs. We went for karaoke. I got very drunk at karaoke. Found that Enter Shikari were on the karaoke.
Did you sing it?
That was our last song on the way out.
Nice.
Went back
for it's glorious.
That it's amazing.
If anyone has listened this far, request that photo. The one before, sorry you're not a winner on the karaoke bar. I'm not going to give you anything about it, but I want him to post it.
So next day, after getting pretty drunk in Shibuya. By the way, we went in between Meiji Jingu and the Scramble. We did Harajuku. In that we wandered through a few streets in Harajuku because it was that busy you couldn't get into the shops.
Okay.
It was just a stream of people.
Okay.
So day 10, I mentioned the weather for day 9, 19 degrees and sunshine. Day 10, snow.
Oh. Wow.
Okay. So we decided to go to Sunshine City. And it's a mall. It's described as you could spend a whole day there. I believe them.
Okay.
I don't think you could ever get bored there. So I made a list of some of the things that were on the signs that you can do at Sunshine City. This isn't everything, but this is some of the stuff you can do. Fun shops, rooftop aquarium, a zoo, gachapon and crane games, sky lounge with views of Tokyo, supermarkets, food courts, a theatre, a museum, the first ever Pokemon Go stop, restaurants and cafes all the way up 59 floors, influencer spots, and an exhibition centre for conventions.
Bloody Nora. That is a lot of stuff.
All in one place. So
what's an
we did a lot of
influencer spot when it's at home?
basically just there for like, this looks really aesthetically pleasing. It's got like cherry blossoms and lights, and you can use props and whatever.
Got ya.
Yeah. So this is like the Ghibli store. They had a store that specialized in watches with calculators on them.
Of course.
I found that particularly fascinating. I was actually really tempted to buy one.
I mean, that's pretty
I was
cool.
like, I'm tempted to buy one, but at the same time, I've got a smartwatch that also has a calculator on it and can do a lot more.
But they look like the old Casio watches, don't they?
Yeah, well, some of them are.
Yeah, cool.
It's neat. Went to the Pokemon store and this place called Pikachu Sweets, which is just like a little Pokemon cafe that you don't have to make a reservation at. Went to the first ever Pokemon Go stop.
Did you catch anything while you were there?
A cold.
Very good.
There you go. This is us in the influencer spot.
This is where you took the photo of your engagement.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you to go back up to the photo where it's not you two and it's just you? On the right there, in the pot. What the fuck is going on there, Tim? Explain the photo. Please.
It basically looks like a ring of petals that are suspended from the ceiling in front of a view of Tokyo. It would be a lovely view of Tokyo, but we went up to the view of Tokyo when it was snowing, so it was foggy.
Okay, cool.
But I was like, it'd be funny if I looked like I was falling through this, and then I nearly did.
Good.
Then
who did the photos for you?
That was our friend Whelan who's out there.
Oh, good old Whelan.
Good old Whelan.
We love
he's in
Whelan.
Tokyo.
Did you ever think to contact, and you can probably cut this bit, please, Tom?
Yes, we actually spoke a little bit.
Did you see him?
Didn't see him. He was busy, and we weren't going his way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't
so
need
lots
to
of
cut
things
that
actually.
because I didn't use his full name.
Yeah, it's fine. This is one of these photos that just kind of shows you how massive the city is. It's just lights as far as the eye can see,
Mm.
and that's just
Wow.
on one side of it.
Dudley's bigger.
Dudley's bigger, is it? There you go. That's how fast the lift to this place was going. It's 600,
600
meters
meters a second.
a minute.
Oh, Jesus. 600, yeah.
Jesus
600.
Christ. Oh my
That's-
poor shins.
That's just called falling.
Yeah. This is a hairbrush that I saw. I thought it was really funny.
Okay.
I was really tempted to buy it. That's Tokyo Tower. This was our last night in Tokyo Tower. Or by Tokyo Tower. Just thought it looked really nice. Day 11, our last full day. So we went to Akihabara, which is known as the Electric District. Something I wanted to take a photo of here while I was on the way to Akihabara. They have these things called Train TV, and they'll just show you educational content like, here's how you can make this recipe, and here's how to speak this in different languages.
Oh, that's cool.
Neat. We found a lot more gachapon. We
Mhm.
found a hair mask that marketed itself as being so good you'll weep.
That reminded me of that game. Is it Catherine?
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
We found this place called Tamashima Animations. They handle a lot of like the One Piece and Dragon Ball figure distributions and a lot of their overseas stuff. So they have like Tekken, they have Monster Hunter, they've got Dragon Ball. I ended up picking up a store exclusive, which I don't know if you can see behind me. Just on that shelf.
I can't.
Right there. Okay. That is, do you remember in Dragon Ball Z where Goku went Super Saiyan for the first time?
Oh, yeah?
That is a limited statue of that.
Oh, very cool.
Very cool. We wandered around, we saw this security robot.
Mhm.
That's some security. Don't know what it's doing.
Securing the area.
What else? We found another Millennia arm, which is interesting to
Just
find.
scattered around. Oh, that's one that says don't touch.
Yeah. We found Monster Hunter stuff. We found Berserk stuff. And as we're wandering around the store, I'm just, taking a look around being like, oh, that's cool, that's cool. And I turned the corner and I found a Guilty Gear aisle. I was like, oh my fucking God. I might have gone a little bit crazy. I bought acrylic stands. I bought a limited edition mouse pad. I've got an art book up there. I've got Payne bought me a physical copy of the soundtrack for the game. I've got a tech deck of one of the characters just because they had it.
Of course.
It's like, sweet. But it's all like 25th anniversary edition stuff, which is really neat.
Very cool.
Very cool. We went to this place called Super Potato, Super Potato was later on. That's like a secondhand video game kind of merch stuff. We went to a few arcades, which was neat.
The arcade machines are shaped like Game Boys. I like it.
Which ones are you talking about?
Up, down,
These?
left.
Oh, right, yeah, this one. Yeah, just a big old Game Boy one.
Very cool.
Now, there's this place here called the Vending Machine Corner.
Right, let's talk about this because I've heard about this and this sounds mental.
So, for those who don't know, the Vending Machine Corner is just a corner at the end of Akihabara's main shopping district where there's just a lot of vending machines.
All crammed into like a very small area.
But each of the vending machines has got some stuff that's been like it's the regular sweets and drinks, but they've been hand wrapped in a packaging that's got like political messages on them. So like a lot of them that we saw were to do with wildfires in Hawaii, talking about how the US needs to work more with Japan to help fix it. But they were also selling things like plastic beetles. This one, yeah, that's the amount of political messages that were in there. This one had bells that you'd put on a Christmas tree.
Yeah, okay.
But it felt like a lot of the ones.
Sorry,
that
go
were in
back
there-
one because that picture of Payne next to a vending machine, it looks like she stumbled into a crack den, Tim.
Well, this is the thing. It felt like a lot of the vending machines you weren't meant to access because they were like between the cracks of other vending machines.
So weird.
There was one that had like a rotary phone in it, and if you paid 1,000,000 yen into it, well, about 5,000 British pounds, you got this rotary phone, and you were to call this number. I don't know what it did. I didn't want to spend 5K on it, but neat.
You should have just called the number.
I imagine it's like directly connected to it.
Okay.
But then here's a video of Payne like leaving one of the areas where it felt like you weren't meant to access it.
It's like a tiny little back alley with vending machines in.
Again, more political messages.
Payne looks really disconcerted.
It's like a really small gap.
Did not look comfortable to be there, Tim.
No. Then went back to Akihabara, got curry.
Nice.
Which is nice.
Katsu.
Yeah, I had a pork. No, I had a. Oh, what did I have? It was pork, crab, and something in this curry. It's good. It's good stuff. We found a shop that sold PC peripherals and liquor.
Okay, cool.
It's good. Don't know what that was. That was just a.
So go back. I want to see it.
Oh, actually. Oh yeah. So Payne was trying to find one particular train station chime. This is something I should probably point out. Every station in Japan has its own little jingle.
Like a podcast.
Kind of. But the idea is, I think that if you're asleep on the train and you hear the jingle, you go, "Oh, this is my stop," and then you get up.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty neat. We found one or two that we really liked, but we couldn't remember where they were. So we, recorded some and tried to think if that was it.
Nice.
Some food that we went for at this place called it was called the Sweet Gyoza or the Juicy Gyoza Manufactory. It'd been featured in some manga.
Okay.
Don't know what it was. And then we went to, if the audience wants to cast their mind back to when we did The Travel Agent. If you remember, Joe, we went to a hotel where you were checked in by animatronic dinosaurs.
I remember.
We went to that hotel.
And were you checked in by the animatronic dinosaur?
We were checked in by this Diplodocus on the right, and he was fucking terrifying. So, yeah, okay.
Does it speak English at you?
Yeah, or you can select Japanese.
What does it say?
Press the button to begin.
Ooh, I hate it. It's so deep.
I know. Like the little velociraptor that was on the left here was like proper like high pitched and like, meh kind of thing.
Do you know, you showed me these pictures, and the thing is, there's the velociraptor on the left, the Diplodocus on the right, and in the middle is the scariest one of them all.
It's just a plastic woman.
She's terrifying.
But the whole gimmick of this hotel is the dinosaur check-in, right? At one point, we, Payne's like, they've got a manga section downstairs and like a vending machine that specializes in airline food. I was like, oh, cool.
Famously, one of the worst bits of the plane.
But they had a vending machine for it.
Did they have Payne's beef porridge or?
I didn't see that. But what I did see was when I went downstairs to go and get some photos, I saw a very pissed off American absolutely losing his mind saying, I don't want to talk to the dinosaurs. I want to talk to a person. And I'm just thinking, why would you book this hotel if you didn't want to talk to the dinosaurs?
What stage in this person's life do you think they would ever utter the phrase, I don't want to talk to the dinosaur, I just want to talk to a person?
I don't know. But then that was basically it for the night. We slept. We were up a very, very early hours of the morning the next day, flying to Beijing.
Very cinematic shot for you, Tim.
That was Payne's very good cinematography. You can see how cheeked up I am in my sweatpants. We were at the hotel for about 5:10, got on the subway to the airport. We saw a man checking in a kendo stick on the baggage. That went through a lot of scrutiny.
You think he is going to try out to be in WWE?
Maybe.
They love a kendo stick in WWE.
So we got checked in. We went through security, no problem. Payne was like, I'm going to use the loo. And then she used the bidet, and then I was like, what took you so long? The bidet, the way these bidets work in Japan is they're angled to the limit to spray your butt, your asshole. This one had been misangled, so it just sprayed water all up her back.
Okay,
that was fun.
Cool.
Journey to Beijing was pretty uneventful, but Beijing to London, just a bizarre flight back. Just a myriad of sounds. Like, keep in mind, planes, generally speaking, quite loud things, but we could hear like lip smacking. There was a guy taking business calls all flight. There was a restless child like jumping and shouting a couple of rows over. There were two people having a shouting conversation, and there was a guy who had the loudest snore in the world on this plane. I was like, okay, cool.
Nice.
I tried a beer called Snow Beer. It's a Chinese beer. Pretty awful.
Okay, cool.
I watched a bunch of nature documentaries. I watched that film Coco. And then when we got back to England, I didn't realize how blessed we'd been with Japanese public transport until we'd been out of Heathrow by about 5 minutes, and we were trying to work out the bus system there because it was a nightmare. Now Payne has written this one. And she's written day 13, London to home.
Okay.
It's the only note. After paying 2,600 yen for an umbrella that has a katana hilt for a handle and continuously swinging around like a sword, asking if he was intimidating, Tim then pulled the umbrella out from the suitcase to use it for the rain, swung it around the hotel room like a fucking baseball bat, and then the umbrella part flew across the room, breaking it before it had even been used correctly.
God bless you, Payne.
She stood in. I told you I'd say it. Yeah. I then fixed it, kind of. I think it's still pretty broken, to be honest.
She sounded like I heard, and you'll hear when you edit how disappointed Payne sounds with it. Mm-hmm. That was good.
That was it. That was Japan.
Out of 10?
Fucking 12. It was
12.
amazing.
You going to go back?
Totally going back.
Very good. Tim, we have been recording for 2 hours.
It's going to be a long episode.
It is, but it doesn't feel like a Two Blokes unless we do a joke section. So, can we do jokes and then we'll get out of here?
Yeah, we'll do jokes and get out of here.
And let's find that a joke jingle. Oh, no, I've pressed the T-Smack promo. We'll play the T-Smack promo at the end.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
Well remembered, Tim. After that monumental section of Tim's holiday, which thank you for documenting, Tim. I really enjoyed that. We are going to tell each other some jokes, and if the other one laughs, then this joke is deemed the joke of the week, and the section is over. Tim, I know you said you only have a few. I actually have 13.
Oh my god, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, cool. I'll go first. You ready?
Yep.
I told my wife she was drawing her eyebrows too high. She looked surprised.
Good feedback, though.
Yep.
A cat and dog are leading a caravan of pioneers through the old frontier. The cat was in charge of the front wagon, and the dog was in charge of the tail wagon.
I think Alex told her that one last time.
No,
Alex
did
or
he?
Dan, one of them told that joke.
Oh, it's a good joke.
Tim, good mums let you lick the beaters when they're making a cake. Great mums turn the beaters off first.
Smart.
Mm.
What genre are national anthems?
Go on.
Country.
Yeah. 4 out of 10. Tim.
Yeah.
This child started a huge fire. His father watched on, put his arm around his wife and said, "That's our son."
See, that got me. Okay.
Oh, I'm glad I did 13.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week. Joey, what was the joke of the week?
A child started a huge fire. As his father watched on, he put his arm around his wife and said, "That's our son." There you go. Tim, we did forget to do the pub quiz question in the last episode you're in, so let's not forget today.
I'm trying to remember what the question was. I'm looking for it.
Something about the poem. The poet of Paradise Lost.
Yeah. Who wrote the epic poem Paradise Lost, which tells the story of the fall of Satan and the creation of mankind? Joey, any last guesses?
No.
John Milton.
John Milton. There you go. Well, consider me more cultured. Tim, I'm going to play T-Smack because I said I would. And then we'll get out of here. Is there anything you want to say to the listener?
Oh, take that, you bastards.
Hey, that, you bastards. And hear this message from Josh and Alex. Have a wonderful week.
Whee!
Hey Josh, I'm finally ready to do something fun every Wednesday.
Alex, finally, we're going to talk superheroes, movies, animation, comics, and much, much more, right?
Yes, but we're also going to talk Star Trek.
Make it so, my friend. Catch Talking Smack every Wednesday on your podcatcher of choice. We will see you there, Smackheads.